Welcome to Corporate Fuckery, stories of survival, psychological warfare, and choosing what's best for you. I'm Lauren DeGolia, certified success coach, subconscious strategist, astrologer, technologist, and former corporate insider turned truth teller. Let's start here. Going big today. They're calling AI the future of work. But what if the future of work is less Jetsons and more exploitation with a user interface? This episode is for high achieving people who have poured decades into being irreplaceable, only to now feel the quiet panic of being replaced by a glorified chatbot that literally tells you, quote, "This might be wrong." We're not here for fear mongering today. We're here to name the false promise being sold and claim a deeper perspective. And it sounds like this: you are the original intelligence. AI, it's just a tool, not a threat, not your replacement, not a silver bullet, just a tool, one that we can use with intention or we can be used by unconsciously. Now, I want to talk about what AI is and isn't by my own definition. And just to be clear, this entire episode is pretty much my own unique point of view. So take it for what it's worth. My hope is that you walk away and you think about the role of AI in your workplace, in your career, in your job, in your lifetime, and how you want to show up and champion for the use or not, depending on what you do. But here's the truth: AI doesn't think, it predicts. It's not intelligent, but it is impressive. It's not creative, but it does combine a lot of data in a really interesting way. I like to think of AI like a fashion stylist with amnesia. It walks into your closet, grabs a handful of pieces you've already worn, and arranges them based on past outfits it's seen on Pinterest. Sometimes it nails the vibe. Sometimes you walk out looking like you've time traveled from a different decade. Or if fashion isn't your thing, AI is like a sous chef who's never tasted food. They can chop, prep, and plate, but they don't actually know if the dish is any good. They're fast, but they're not the flavor. What makes it powerful isn't its knowledge, it's the ability to sound confident. And that confidence, it's costing people's jobs. We need to be real about this because AI may evolve into something truly intelligent in the future, and that could be incredible. But right now, it isn't intelligent. It's a pattern recognition machine. It's not a strategic thinker. It doesn't understand ethics or people or purpose. So when we replace humans based on tools that we know can make mistakes, that's not innovation, that's recklessness. And here's the most important distinction: AI is predictive, not proactive. It pulls from what has been, not what could be. Only humans, in my opinion, can create from a future that's never existed before. Innovation requires vision, intuition, and the kind of risk taking no algorithm can replicate. That's not just job security, that's creative leadership, and that's irreplaceable. So I'm going to weave my story in here because I think it's really important. Microsoft laid off 15,000 people in 60 days. And then they sent an internal email, which I've referenced below in the show notes, calling for more, quote unquote, intensity. Business Insider described this memo as a showcase of industry buzzwords meant to dial up performance pressure while ignoring the human cost. What Amy Hood didn't acknowledge was the layoffs. She didn't mention the 15,000 lives that were disrupted. Instead, she said FY26 will require intensity, clarity, and bold execution. Let me translate that. We just boiled off 15,000 gallons of broth. Now cook harder with what's left. That's not strategy. That's throwing out the baby with the bathwater and hoping for the same, if not better, results. Here's where we're getting tripped up. We've started to confuse automation with evolution. And in that confusion, we've made exhaustion the standard and humanity optional. Oh, and it gets worse. Hood also closed the email by saying that she was, quote, excited about what we will accomplish together as we lead into the next frontier of innovation. Is it innovation, or is it a well-crafted justification for driving up profits at the expense of people? One Reddit commenter nailed it: selling shovels during a gold rush. Here's what no one is saying: Shit work in equals shit work out. Entire organizations, including the largest one on earth, Microsoft, are pretending like most of their business isn't still running on spreadsheets. And 6 months ago, I sat in an all hands meeting with 1,500 of my closest coworkers where our GM stood on stage and told us that the future of work was in us all learning how to write our own AI agents, that we needed to get curious, to start experimenting, that citizen development would change the game. So I did. I started a project, found a fabulous partner who was curious and wanted to get the job done because I wanted to show that I could revolutionize my program. And for anyone wondering, citizen development means everyday employees, not engineers, build tools or automation using low code or what they call no code platforms to solve real time problems in real time. So we got to work. And guess what we had to build it off of just to be able to demo it? You guessed it, an Excel spreadsheet. We spent almost 4 months trying to make it work. We followed every path that we could think of. Leadership had promised it was a plug and play. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. This is the problem. Decisions are being made without context. Executives are gambling with billion-dollar businesses using tools labeled, "This may contain inaccurate information." And I know that you know this is happening every day because as you go and search online in any large platform, you know that the results you're getting back aren't 100% accurate, and you actually have probably questioned them a few times yourself. This is not innovation. This is wishful thinking. It's crossing your fingers and hoping that your GPT can run your operations. And let's not forget, mass layoffs framed as efficiencies have downstream consequences as well. They hollow out communities, reduce consumer spend, shake market confidence, and burn out the remaining workforce. From my understanding, morale is at an all-time low up in there right now. This isn't just bad for culture, it's bad for the economy. Okay, taking a deep breath for a hot sec, because that was a little intense. My apologies. I want to be clear. This isn't a rant from the sidelines. I've lived my entire career as a certified business architect, continuous improvement junkie, and metrics queen turned technologist. I started in pharmaceutical manufacturing and quality assurance in 2004, let's say. You can go back and look at my resume on LinkedIn if you want. If you're not aware, that's like being the cookie tester, making sure the recipe and all the testing that goes with it is made in a repeatable, reliable way. We built systems back then, assuming that the human would make a mistake. We documented everything from what color pen you could use in a standard operating procedure and had binders, yes, binders full of paperwork back then for people to follow word for word to ensure everyone performed the action in the exact same way. And we protected for that. Training, checks, double checks, triple checks, because when you're making medicine, you want humans involved. Next up, my tenure at Nordstrom, my first exposure to actual business architecture, which include capabilities and business as a cohesive system. We used language like Lean, Six Sigma, Kaizen. We optimized for efficiency between the business and technology. We had rich conversations about investment, productivity metrics against our $600 million spend, and the outcomes the organization was driving to. And to be honest, it seemed really meaningful, like the employees were making a difference to cut the waste. But now, we've started to market the human as the ultimate inefficiency, which is true. We are, in fact, flawed by design. But thinking that we're going to replace humans and calling that innovation leaves a gaping hole in the current market narrative. Humans are good at pattern recognition and bringing unique ideas and concept together due to nuance, lived experience, imagination, and creativity. AI is good at the lather, rinse, repeat approaches to life and business and can create efficiency and scalability faster than a human can, which makes it expansive by this definition. My tenure at Microsoft showed me how AI was being sold, and many of you are witnessing that in real time today, as the magic bullet, as the reason to do more with less. The problem is, it sounds good in boardrooms and to investors, But on the ground, in the hallways at work, it doesn't quite work the way that it's being marketed. I want to be clear. Again, this isn't an anti-tech episode. I take a lot of pride in being a technologist, but I take more pride in being pro-human. I desire for all of us to think of AI as a human-first opportunity. To be human-first in AI means number one, we use it to lighten our cognitive load, not replace our critical thinking. It should replace burnout, not erase people. It should support your zone of genius, not threaten it. It's important to note that people bring facets of perspective from other industries and experiences that AI would never consider on its own. And our need to respect the subject matter experts and the rich perspectives and leadership they bring to their work and the culture of an organization can't be replicated. I use AI. In fact, I love AI. I've loved AI for a long time. It helps me brainstorm, summarize, ideate. It's my assistant. It's not my North Star. If you're using AI to go faster instead of get clearer, you're missing the point. You might be using AI wrong if you're outsourcing your judgment, if you're skipping the strategy for speed, if you think it's going to fix broken leadership systems, if you believe it's better to reduce headcount in the name of slapping a new automation flow together that hasn't been road tested for the results that you desire. Look, I'm all about creating efficiency. My entire professional career has been built on that. Let that land. I'd love to know, just by this point of our conversation today, how you think about AI. Because I know you. You're the one who always showed up early, stayed late, over delivered. You didn't just want a seat at the table, you built the whole damn table. And now you feel the edge. You feel like you might be replaced by a machine that doesn't even know if it's right. That dis-ease, that discomfort, that's not paranoia, that's intuition. It's not enough to feel weird about AI. You have to engage with it. You have to understand it. You have to shape how it's used before someone else does. Because silence is complicity, and inaction is automation. This is about personal responsibility, to make AI human first, to ensure we lead it, not the other way around. This is corporate fuckery, when executives prioritize buzzwords over people, when layoffs are disguised as innovation, when spreadsheets become your leadership strategy. You deserve better, and so does the future of our work. So if you're wondering how to tame that fear, let's start here. Number one, get curious. Play with AI tools. Learn what they can do and they can't do. Number two, use them to amplify your brilliance, not bypass your value. Please, please help them reduce your cognitive load. Number three, advocate in the rooms you're in. Ask the hard questions. What problem are we actually solving? Are we designing for people or just for profit? Reminder, you are the original intelligence. You feel, you sense, you guide, you lead. You hold the nuance. AI, it's the tool, but you're the one who gives it directions. Don't let a system that guesses better than most convince you that it knows better than you. And to the leaders listening, I challenge you to get human first before you get legacy lost, because here's the real kicker. If I were in that boardroom, I'd be the one raising my hand saying, is this really innovation? Or are we just automating our ignorance, calling it progress, and praying no one notices until the architecture collapses and we're thinking AI is going to keep the lights on? If AI is the frontier, then leading with humanity must be the compass. So here's my challenge to you, especially if you're in a decision-making seat. Call out the AI corporate fuckery when you see it. Don't let language like efficiency, innovation, or digital transformation distract you from the human impact. Take radical responsibility when it lands on your desk or in your inbox. Ask better questions. Push back on the assumption that faster is better and cheaper is smarter. Lead with intention, not automation. You don't have to be a CEO to shape the future. You just have to be brave enough to speak up. The the future of work will be built with people in mind or with people left behind. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on this today. I hope I made you consider a different perspective of AI that you can take an active role in. This is one of many conversations we're going to have on this podcast about this topic, and I look forward to having experts come in and share their own opinions on how we can reduce corporate fuckery and take a more human-centered approach. Until next time, remember, you're not alone, you're not behind, and we are just getting started.